What's up with it? It's the boss of the Bay, Diggs. And I'm sitting in right now with Thizzler.com. Y'all stay tuned. You know what? That's crazy you say that. Cause honestly, I probably had enough footage for Treal TV 3, 4, and maybe a 5. Like and that's what I did for years. I rode around with the camera. I did all the shit. But it was just, one of the biggest things about Treal Television was, one, it was our unity as a nation, and two, it was, it was bred from Dre. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that people wanted to see. So at the end of the day, pretty much all the footage of Dre was already out. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people want to see that. So that took a lot away from it, which we had him in 1 and 2. And then in the later years, the movement started dying down, so it wasn't quite the same. You feel me? And that was one of the things about the Treal Television 1 and 2 is it showed the movement. It showed, everybody was still going dumb. And, now when they, back then when they seen the cameras, it was why, everybody go crazy. Now they see the camera, everybody cool. And, so it's a whole different reaction than what you even get in the streets and how it was acting. And that's what it was built off of. It was built off of how the Bay Area act. They vibe, they swag, what they do after the club, and which they still do their thing, but it was just, at that time when that movement was going on, like, my mama would be with the shit, you know what I mean? Everybody was turned up. It was just them kind of days, man. So I like I said, I had the footage, and I could have probably done it, and I just didn't ever do it. I got so much footage, bro. I was thinking about it just not too long ago. I was gonna do Treal Television, The Lost Files, because I got footage of people that, it was 8 to 10 years ago, all the way up for years, and what they'll see themselves and be like, damn, I was in high school then, like I'm grown. So it'll really fuck a lot of people up if they seen it. It's great footage, it was quality. That's one of the things, the project was always quality. So it's not out the question. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all might get Treal Television and Lost Files. I'm glad you asked that, because that's really been one of the things on my mind. Like, should I release this or what? It would have to be when the girl was crying in Fresno at the show, because I was there. So you have to be there to understand it. Like, I'm not even gonna go into it, but that probably was one of my favorite moments. Because that was special. Just to see her and her reaction and all the shit. So if y'all seen Treal Television, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God, I love him. You have to be there to understand it. There's a couple people that know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that was probably one. But there's so many, man. There's so many. That's probably not. I can't even really say it's my favorite. But that was a special moment because I was there to witness that. So, but it's so many, man. It's so many. And I ain't seen it in a while. I see clips every now and then. But I that's one of them things that you let it marinate for a while, and then you pull it out and you smoke a backwood and you watch it and you crack up and be like, wow, these was the days. And that's kind of dope, because it's part of our history. It's something that we'll be able to leave behind. It's another part of the legacy. 20, 30 years from now, kids will hear about it and want it, and probably will get a chance to see it and be like, damn, that's what they used to do back then. They was turned up. So yeah, that Treal Television was special, man. It definitely helped create what the Bay Area is today, for sure. I had to take a bad situation and turn it into a vacation. So that's what I did. I make the best out of it. I know a lot of cats. I've been going back and forth to Hawaii for years. So this ain't the first time I had a place there. So it was just basically, and then, like I said, it's only 6 months. So while I'm out there now, I'm just, trying to stay in the studio, spend a lot of time on the beach, of course. You know what I mean? I hang out a lot. And really just take the time to get my focus back, being away. you know, sitting off in prison for the last almost 2 years. You know what I mean? It gave me plenty of time to think, but at the same time, you're away from the streets, and so a lot of shit changed. When you come home, it be so much different shit. So I've been just taking that time to get myself realigned with being back home and the steps that I want to take and things like that. So why, you know, in a way, it turned out to be a blessing for me. Everybody come through Hawaii. One thing, I'm stationed out there, so when everybody come through there, they fuck with me. The day after I got out, Baby Bash came through. He had a show. He brought me out on stage. G-Eazy show the other day. He brought me out on stage. Everybody come through, and that's been going on for years too. Like, and you know, I'm always in Hawaii, so when somebody got a show down there, I go through, support them, fuck with them, go out on stage with them or something. But that was crazy though, G-Eazy, and what he actually did is he did his whole show, and his last song was the song Fuck With Me and Get Some Money, him and Cardi B. So he pulled me to the side. You know, G-Eazy is a big, you know, respect to, he's a real big Thizz fan. You know, he was a youngster through the Thizz movement, so he was out here throwing up his tea and doing all this shit like everybody else before the G-Eazy days. You know, he was a real fan of our movement. So, you know, he one of them guys, he like to hear stories. He'll sit down and be like, man, tell me a story about you and Dre. Like, that's how G-Eazy is. You know, he one of them kind of guys. So he always pay homage. You know, he always tell me, man, it's always an honor to have you over here fucking with me. He's like, man, could you do me a favor and I'm gonna do this Fuck With Me and Get Some Money song. He said, I want you to come out on stage with my mom. He's like, man, just come gig and turn up with her, man. She smoke, light a blunt with her or something. He's like, man, you put your chain around her. I'm like, man, hell yeah. Like, man, do that, man. So we did it. So I came out, turned up with his mom. She fired up a backwood. Smoked the backwood, I put my chain on her, she threw it up, and then, you know what I mean, threw the tea up for the crowd. They went crazy in there, Hawaii went crazy, it was a big show. So yeah, it was dope, it was a dope experience. Definitely a classic moment. You know what, let me tell you a quick story about this, real quick. My album is titled The 90-Day House Arrest Project. Let me tell you a quick story. So here I was on probation in Vegas. So they put me on house arrest. I had just came from transferring my probation from Hawaii to Vegas. So they said, well, you gotta do 90 days on house arrest. So I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I gotta sit in the house. So I flipped my house into my studio. I flipped the whole big room into my house into a full studio. Flew some of my homeboys in that I wanted to work with the work. I said, if I gotta sit here on 90 days, I'm gonna make the best out of it. So I started recording. When everybody come into town into Vegas, they come by my house, Keeks, Quinn, everybody come through, they come record by the house, I'm knocking it out. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dedicate this project to niggas in jail. You know, I've been in jail, I got homeboys in jail. So I said, my 90-Day House Arrest project is gonna be dedicated to niggas in jail. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make songs for niggas in jail, songs about niggas in jail. You feel me, the whole shit. So I made these songs, I'm recording with my dudes. You know what I mean? I even did a song where it was a three-way call with me and my son, like we was in jail and all this shit. So I did all this shit to make this song to dedicate to jail. And the day after I got off house arrest, I went to jail. And it's like everything I rapped about in them songs came to reality. Like, I swear to God, my right hand to God, it's some shit that was just meant to be songs that my life ended up playing out for the next 2 years off of the music that I did prior. So that the term, when you hear somebody say speak something into existence, I spoke myself into prison. And then some of the shit that I went into that happened to me in prison, I spoke about it prior to it happening. It's the craziest shit. Like, it's crazy. So that shit really happened to me. Like, I made songs about my bitch doing bullshit, it happened. I made songs about going to jail, it happened. I made songs about shit happening while I was in jail, they happened. And it was all happening. Like I said, I made this music before I went to jail. And then the bullshit turned around and happened. So that shit was crazy. It was really a hell of an experience. It was like, wow, I really rapped my shit into existence. So I want to do that shit again. You know that. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm pulling that out tonight. I was just driving out. I drove yesterday for the first time. But I'm pulling that out tonight. I got 3 shows in the next 3 days. I'm pulling it up to all 3 shows. Might jump on the roof. Y'all stay tuned. Yeah. I seen my little partner had it before me. His name is Littles. Shout out Littles 559 Fresno. And he had pulled up on me. I was in Fresno. I had a show that night and I was at the hotel, and he pulled into the hotel, and I see this big ass truck. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was the one where, you know, when you see it, I don't care what peripheral, it demands your attention. You're gonna look at it. So when I seen that, you know, first thing I'm thinking, it was just all black at the time. Like, that's a billboard. I'm like, man, if I rap that, that'd be. So, you know, I had to have it. So I ended up working out something with my man and buying a truck from my guy. And that's what it was. It was just for a billboard purpose. It was just one of the things. Like, if it come down the street, it ain't no way you're gonna miss it. So whatever I put on the side of it, it's gonna get its job done. It's a driving billboard. And people love it. Kids, they see it, they like, oh, that mom. You know, it's like a Tonka toy. Johnny Cash, Thizz movement was more with Ryder. That was you know, Johnny Cash and Ryder was good friends. So his movement, you know, Ryder was really the one who backed Cash. Like, you know, I want to do this Money Gang project. I got this youngster over here. He got gas, and you know, when you first look at Cash a fly dude. You just didn't see scream rapper. You feel me? But when this dude delivered, you was like, wow, he had it. He just had one of them flows. It was like, yeah, for real. He was one of them dudes that was before his time. He was probably one of the flyest flows over in the whole Thizz camp at the time. So he didn't really even get the chance to even get to his peak. But that was a really big Ryder project, and they worked together with my little cousin Kilo and got it done. It was a great look. You know. And that was at a time, like I said, that was at a time with Thizz. That was our whole thing. The nation, the word nation was being used as it was bringing everybody together. Our whole goal was to grab this whole Bay Area and make this Bay Area work as a whole together. You feel me? So that was one of the things about the movement. That's what made the movement so raw, is because it finally had the Bay Area working together. You know, and that's what happens. You know, that's kind of one of the downfalls to this rap shit, is that rappers don't work together. They feel like everybody's competition to them. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be, you know, crabs in the bucket. I'm on my way up. I'm gonna grab your leg and pull you down if I can. But one thing about it, numbers is power. So that's one of the things that make the Bay Area so strong, is that we really rep this area. You feel what I'm saying? You'll get fucked up, you say something bad about the Bay. You know what I mean? That's how it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And the Bay means this whole area. So that's one of the things that make us the powerhouse that we are. And that's why we still get mentioned when they mentioning high level artists, and they mentioning high level cities. They always mention the Bay, because they like, man, you know, no matter what, they got their movement over there, and they need to be mentioned along in the same speeches with these other dudes. So, you know, that's our movement. That's what it is, man. And I love it. So y'all keep repping this Bay shit the way y'all rep it, because they love us. Yeah, I don't know.